Hi, I'm Aeon, and this is a video. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Oh my god, what the is happening with my nose? Oh my god, why does it hurt so much? What happened? Oh my god. Ow. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to more Geometry Dash. Today, we are trying to adapt to ship. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be trying out some ship parts in Extreme Demons that normally I found rather easy on mouse. Because I've been complaining for like the past week that I struggle a lot with Stray Fly on up arrow. So we're going to be taking a look at ship parts in Extreme Demons, just trying them out, trying to see if I can do them on up arrow, just to like adapt myself to it, I suppose. So we're going to be starting out easy with the Cataclysm ship, and then we're gonna move our way up into difficulty and try and see if we can do some stuff. So we're gonna grab a copy of Cataclysm right here, and then we're gonna do the last ship, and then we're gonna move our way up through the tiers of difficulty, and that's the plan for today. So essentially what I want to do is that I've just had a really hard time adapting to straight fly in particular. Everything else is fine. It's just and specifically straight fly I've had a really hard time with. So hopefully by practicing like this, I'll be able to like get better at it. Because as you can see there, I failed the Cataclysm. I'm failing the Cataclysm ship. So I clearly need some practice when it comes to ship. Everything else is fine though. It's really just ship that I'm struggling with. I died to the wave. That's pathetic. Anyway, that's the Cataclysm ship. Let's go over to what's a good other one. What I can do to begin with here is I can actually just pick up and use this. I can try and see if I can use my completed extremes thingy. See if I remember anything in particular. We can try the 2 the Stars 2 ship. Let's do the green ship part into this part, and we can do this ship part. This ship part is pretty hard, so I would say this is pretty good practice for ship control in particular. Ooh, okay. I forgot how hard the ship part is. I really hit that, didn't I? Why is my nose still hurting? Why is my nose still hurting? What the hell? Anyway, we did that pretty quickly. All right, let's just go right into the Bloodbath ship. Let's do crack. Not the drug, I promise. Ow, can my nose stop hurting? I'm having this like stinging pain in my nose, and I don't understand what's happening. Oh, that was a death. Okay. Because normally I just kind of like never die to this ship part. I've always just been like the ship guy, right? So struggling with this is like very weird, but I suppose it's the price to pay for having to adapt to a new style of playing, I suppose. What am I doing? Like, I don't know how to feel about the fact that I'm struggling this much with it. Because it's really just Stray Fly as well. It's really just like ship. Like everything else I'm fine with. I'm fine with ship control. But Stray Fly is just so hard. And I don't know why. If someone could like try and explain why Stray Fly is so much harder, I would really appreciate that. I really just added that. Let's try Etzer as well. Let's hop into Etzer and do that as well. I feel like that would be a smart thing to do. The ship part in Etzer. Yeah, that's not too bad. What about Giron? Let's try Giron. Well, we can add on the wave part as well. But yeah, no, I'm very curious as to why Stray Fly is so significantly harder. Because as you can see with like straight wave isn't nearly as bad. But I don't know. Maybe it's just something that's like in my head. I feel like it could be something that's just in my head, you know? Let's do the static ignition ship. I think the static ignition ship could be good. Okay, now we're chucking along with some difficult ship part. Okay, so I don't really know like how my complete transition is gonna happen when it comes to like this, because I don't know how I feel about the fact that I'm gonna have to like re-practice ship as much as I have to. It's like a weird conundrum because everything else I feel like I'm like better at, but it's just explicitly ship parts that just became much harder. And it's not even just ship parts, it's just Stray Fly. Because other things with ship, like ship control, I find arguably easier. Like, it doesn't make sense to me why it's just so difficult for me to just keep my skill. Like, it's not like I do anything different. Like, I still do the exact same thing. So it feels weird that I will suddenly have this hard of a time just with something that I'm normally really good at. I wouldn't say it's demotivating, but it is kind of a setback that I'll have to like actively practice something that I've normally been very good at, right? So while it's not necessarily demotivating, I also feel like I have to like practice my way up to the skill level that I used to be at, which might take a little bit of time. I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing a lot of wave-based demons over the past year or so. Maybe it's time to start doing ship-based demons, lol. My biggest thing though is that I'm genuinely curious as to like if it's like a mental thing. Like, I've just heard that ship is harder on up arrow, therefore I'm finding it harder to do. Because like I find it that when you just try an extreme for the first time, if it's not on the list, then you'll find it a lot easier than it is. That's like the phenomenon as to why things that used to be like really hard people can do as like an early extreme, like a first or second extreme now, but was on the list for the longest time or just like recently fell off because it's not on the list, so it's not placed. Therefore, it's not that hard, right? I wonder if the same applies here, where I've heard people say that ship is much harder on up arrow, therefore I'm having a hard time adapting to it. See, it's not that hard. I just had to like convince myself that it wasn't. Let's just hop right into the search of difficult ship. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. I just think it would be a good one to try. Yeah, no, this was a mistake. Why am I dying to that? That's an interesting one. That's not what I was expecting to die to. Neither was that, to be fair, but like, huh, interesting. Okay, that counts. Okay, it counts. Next one I want to go into is the moon below. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna go practice, and then we're gonna do the first part, and then we're gonna do the second part. The one thing I do find is that I find ship control to be a little bit easier. So like controlling the ship and like doing finer movements, I find pretty easy. But then strafe fly and other things are just like really hard. It's weird. I wish I could like fully explain it in like a way that doesn't sound really weird. I didn't think that. I thought like ship in general was gonna be harder, but I find like controlling finer movements with up arrow is like much easier, which is why I'm like doing it for hard machine, because the ship at like 48 to 55 is like a bunch of like finer movements, right? It's not a lot of strafe fly, it's just fine movement, which is odd because I thought it was just gonna be like ship as a whole maybe, but not really. The problem with that is that I also struggle with the strafe fly at like 16. Are you joking? I died to that. See, that's the thing. I died to the strafe fly. I passed the hard parts pretty quickly, and then I died to the strafe fly. There we go. No, I thought I was gonna do the whole thing. No! Oh, that was so close. Okay, there we go. Very cool. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next one. I feel like Devon's part in Oro would be a good one. We're gonna go Oro, we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go do Devon's part, which is for many people a very, very hard part. So let's go and give that a shot, I suppose. There's a dual ship as well, which is scary, but hey. So the interesting thing about this, right, is that this part was very much just muscle memory for me, right? So it's interesting to see how my muscle memory affects doing these ship parts with a new method of playing. Because playing with up arrow and playing with mouse is different, so muscle memory isn't like exactly the same. So it's curious to see how like my muscle memory is kind of like affected by it. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. There we go. We can try the frozen cave one. I kind of want to see if I can do the frozen cave one. The avalanche one. That would be cool. Doing the avalanche ship. Hell yeah. Okay. See, this is what I mean. It's so accurate. Like, keyboard is such an accurate way to play the game. Like, I feel like all my inputs are just accurately registered. It's just, for some reason, that makes strafe fly so much harder. Did it. Woo! Okay, now we can go to the demon list and see if we can find anything of interest. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna sit down and try with the Promethean last ship. I'm gonna have to practice this a little bit though, because I feel like the Promethean last ship is like, I don't know, there's just something scary about it, you know? Like, I always look at this ship and I'm like, oh, dude, that's impossible. This ship is ridiculously hard. Okay, I'm gonna have to practice this a little bit more, but I think that this is doable. I definitely think it's doable. I just have to like get a little, I don't know, can I call it a little lucky? Maybe. I do think the second half of this ship is pretty, or not easy, but much easier, if that makes sense. Like once you get here, it's like significantly easier, I find. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just like, oh yeah, I passed it pretty easily right now, therefore it's easy, even though it definitely isn't. It's not easy, but you get the point, right? Maybe this should be like a long-term goal, just like using this the ship parts in Promethean to like improve. Or I can just do that. That also works. Hello? I feel like the best way to like improve at this is just to like play really hard ship parts and like with time just get better. But then again, I feel like it doesn't really practice strafe fly that much. It's like it practices control, but not strafe fly. But then again, how many levels actually like utilize proper strafe fly? Like there are so few levels that actually like uses strafe fly for difficulty now. That is it really necessary? I think this is gonna be like a longer term experiment where I just try and get that. I think that would be smart. I do want to like someday get to a point where I can like do stuff like this. But I just have to practice ship parts. There's nothing else to it. Let's do the 48 ship in hard machine just to like prove that I'm actually capable of ship parts. Maybe it's not even my weakest skill set or game mode. It's just I'm so used to being so ridiculously good at ship relative to everything else that it's just like leveled out like more evenly to the rest of my skill. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so though. Like I still have a lot of like control over my ship, right? Like as you can clearly tell by the way that I'm like with like my ship movements. I still have like very clear control over my ship and I'm still like good with ship. I'm just like, it's just strafe fly. I don't know what else to say. That's the only thing. It's like the one thing that I just can't do. This part right here is, by the way, the reason why I wanted to do this video. Because for some reason, I have like the hardest time with this strafe fly right here. I don't know why. I just cannot do strafe fly. And this strafe fly is like kicking my ass when going from 0. I did it there though, so that's fine, I suppose. I think I'm gonna try and end off by doing the hardest ship. Is this the one that I'm thinking about? No, it's not the one that I'm thinking about, but it works. I want to end up with a couple like strafe fly challenges. What? I thought I had it, dude. Okay, I did that. World's hardest ship. I said this one? It is this one. I don't know why, but this one always like gave me trouble. How did I get 33 on this? What? How does that even make sense? Oh, I did it. Lol. Okay. That was very random. And then I want to end off with OP Strafe Fly. I've had a really hard time with OP Strafe Fly by Quasar. So hopefully the little bit of practice that we had today is gonna help a little tiny bit at least. I am improving though. I am improving. Hey, I did it. Okay. Cool. I am the strafe fly god. Yes, I'm the ship god. Anyway, I think that's a good way or a good place to end off today. I think I just have to like practice and play ship and just improve with time. So hopefully I will get better at it eventually. But yeah, I'll see you guys around. Eat your greens, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Thank you for making my day, but I hope yours a little bit better too. Peace out, everyone.